Before we dive into today's Lakers report, if you want the Lakers to win the championship this year, don't jinx it. Give them the best chance to do so by liking this video. Hit that like button, Laker Nation. Let's go. It's time for another banner to hang, and not Staples Centers, the Crypto.com Arena. Who knows how long it'll be named that, but like the video so the Lakers can win another championship. Okay, let's get you guys caught up on the latest around Christian Wood. He, of course, signed a 2-year deal worth $5.7 million with the player option for year 2, which still kind of confused if this is the vet man or part of the mid-level. I'm not sure because it was my understanding you couldn't do multi-year deals on the vet man. Now, maybe a 1+1 doesn't count as multi-year. Either way, he's a Laker. That's what's most important, as the Cali native is back on the West Coast. He, of course, had a good statistical season with the Mavericks last year, 16.6 points per game. Grabbed over 7 rebounds, a block per game, 51.5% from the field, shot almost 38% from 3. There's no doubt about the talent. That's never been the question here. This is the thing that'll give you pause, though. 8 teams in 8 years in the NBA. That is what makes you go, why would it be different this time? Well, I think having vets like LeBron James and Anthony Davis does help, and you're bringing in a talented guy for very, very cheap. Christian Wood certainly seems to be excited for the opportunity. He says it's always been my dream to be a Laker, and look, he gets to change the narrative. And I hadn't really thought about this until this exact moment. Obviously, Dwight Howard was a much proven player before he got to LA, a Hall of Fame career and all that. But I do see the reminiscence of maybe him going to LA. I know it was the second time for Dwight. Maybe this is where it clicks, though. He buys in. He gives more effort on defense. He's a team-first guy. Because I think those have all been questions through Christian Wood's career up to this point, and that was certainly something that was a question mark in Dallas last season. Maybe it all comes together. The talent meets the effort for the first time in Christian Wood's career under the leadership of LeBron James especially, but also with other guys like Anthony Davis. Here's Christian Wood on joining the Lakers. He said, "I've always wanted to be a Laker. I know we can win a championship. Communication with the coach is a big key. Darvin Ham and I go back to our Milwaukee days, and we have great conversations every day about this opportunity. He believes in me and told me I'll be playing a big role and knows what I can do. I'm looking forward to this, and I'm for sure motivated after what Dallas did." See, here's what I'll say. I don't like that last part, and it really has nothing to do with the Mavs, but to me it's just like, dude, move on. Like, that is why people question you. Like, why are you throwing a jab at Dallas out the door? Just say, hey, I'm motivated for an opportunity with the Lakers. You don't have to say because of what Dallas did. Like, look, there's bad blood on both sides. I'm not saying it's solely a Christian Wood problem. I think Jason Kidd should take a lot of responsibility. Anyone who followed that situation in Dallas, it just didn't mesh for whatever reason. But he also has a track record of bouncing around for a reason, so I just think it's like, just leave that at the door. Like, have a classy approach and just focus on, hey, like, I'm fired up to be a Laker. Like, 99% of that was good. And then after what Dallas did, what did Dallas do? I mean, like, it's not like there was attempted murder here or something. Like, it didn't work out. That's what happened at the end of the day. So, I'm excited about his fit. I think he could be a good player for the Lakers, but I think he's got to focus on the present and future and forget about the past because that's over with. Are you excited about Christian Wood in Hollywood? Type Wood in the chat. Despite everything I just said, I am excited. I think having a guy like LeBron leading the way makes a lot of sense. Dallas didn't have that big-time vet that could rein Christian Wood in. The Lakers do. They've got LeBron James. If Christian Wood can't make it work with LeBron James, he ain't going to make it work anywhere. That is the bottom line. Now, the Lakers want Anthony Davis to play more power forward, and he certainly has always wanted that. He doesn't like playing center, so it'll be interesting to see how Darvin Ham mixes and matches this front court now with Christian Wood in the fold, who can also play both the 4 and the 5. Here's Dave McMenamin of ESPN. He says, sources tell ESPN that Davis made it clear to the organization he wants to have more support at center so he wouldn't have to play so much 5 during the regular season. So maybe Christian Wood starts at the 5. Maybe they go him at the 5, AD at the 4, Russell and Reeves in your backcourt, and LeBron James, obviously, who's going to bring it up the court as well. I think, though, the more realistic scenario, and reports would suggest this, is that Christian Wood comes off the bench. So that's the question. Does Jackson Hayes start at the 5? Does AD start at the 5 but play a lot of minutes at the 4? And look, if we're being realistic, if you're Anthony Davis, you're going to have to play some 5. Like, that's just the bottom line. So, and I think he knows that, but I think he just wants more minutes where he's not kind of the lone big man out there. And look, the Lakers have 3 guys that can play the 5, and 2 of those can play the 4 as well, in both Anthony Davis and in Christian Wood, as they can step out and to this 3-point line. So this signing was critical to give you more versatility in your front court. Jovan Buha says this of The Athletic: the early expectation is that Wood will come off the bench with Rui Hachimura likely as the starter next to LeBron and AD. Again, that would mean AD plays the 5 to start. At a minimum, Wood will be the primary backup center behind Davis, while occasionally teaming with him in 2 big lineups. He should average around 20 minutes per game. So that's where things get interesting with Hachimura probably playing the 4, is that, number one, Wood could be at 20 minutes per game off the bench, which he was unhappy with Jason Kidd in Dallas, so he may just have to embrace that role. And 2, how do you stagger minutes with Hachimura, AD, Jackson Hayes, and Christian Wood? How does all that work? Now, Hachimura's not going to play any 5, so he's out of the 5 equation. But is Hayes the odd man out? Does he not play a lot? It'll be interesting, because if Hachimura starts at the 4 and plays, 25, 30 minutes a game, that means AD's not really getting his witch. He's probably playing a lot of 5. So it's going to be interesting. I'm fascinated to see how it plays out. I think it's one of those where different lineups will be trotted out during rotations and during the start of games as well. But the Lakers are a very deep team at all 3 positions, so it should be a whole lot of fun. And we're going to be here to cover it all. So subscribe to the channel. We cover the latest Lakers news, rumors, top storylines right now, which of course is Christian Wood. That's why we're doing this video today. Don't miss out. Hit that sub button right now and get yourself a new Lakers lid while you're at it. Some hats available for over 50% off at chatsports.com/Lakers hats. Different styles, curved bill, flat bill. You got the little pine trees going here as well. I'm a big fan of this one with the 17 trophies there on the side. Chatsports.com/Lakers hats. Get yourself a lid. It's hot as hell outside. Let's get it popping. Okay, you look at Christian Wood's stats as a starter last year. Pretty good splits, right? Pretty close to like his normal field goal and 3-point splits. 20.5 points, 9.5 rebounds, over 2 blocks per game, 52% from the field and 37% from 3. I think the weirdest thing about Christian Wood is that, and I can attest to this, I watch a lot of Mavericks basketball living down here in Dallas, Texas. When Christian Wood was engaged last year, there was about a 3-week stretch where he was legitimately good defensively. I don't know if it was a fluke. I don't know what happened, but he actually was good. Now, you've heard Tim McMahon, who covers the Mavs in the NBA. He basically said a source in the Mavs buildings told him that the biggest problem with Christian Wood is not that he can't play defense, is that he's fucking terrible at defense. Now, is that effort? Because, again, I remember a stretch last year where he actually played good. So if you're Christian Wood, you want to be a part of a team that can contend for a championship and be a regular rotation player. A, you have to accept your role. And B, you've got to at least play hard on defense. Even if you're not a great defender, you've got to play hard. So we'll see if he starts, if he comes off the bench. Those splits as a starter look good. You could make the case for him to start. He could play the 5 with AD at the 4 if you want to go that route. So it's going to be fascinating to see what Darvin Ham does this year. What do you think happens? Should Christian Wood be in the starting 5? Type S for start or B for come off the bench? I think he'll start coming off the bench, but I would not be surprised if at some point they put him in the starting lineup again. I think they're going to mix and match. Now, based on what happened last year, if you want Christian Wood to be happy, maybe starting him makes sense. But with how late this signing happened, you got to think that conversations have taken place of like, look, man, this is the reality. The money's dried up. You're probably coming off the bench for us, but we're going to promise you a rotation role. Doesn't mean you can't earn a starting role down the road. We're going to pitch you on playing with LeBron and being a championship contender. So that's what I think probably happened, but who knows? Christian Wood's a very interesting individual. We'll see how he handles things. Now, this is from a front office executive per Dave McMinimum. He says, if he's on his best behavior, it could be a good fit. If he's not, well, you could cut him. That's not what you want if you're the Los Angeles Lakers, and surely it's not what you want if you are Christian Wood. This kind of feels like his last big chance. Like, if he goes out there and plays well, he could opt out and get a real contract. We saw him get one with the Rockets a few years ago, but otherwise, he's just going to be a vet minimum type of guy if he's just kind of on his same, I don't want to say erratic behavior, but a guy who's not always bought in. This is your chance, Christian Wood. That's my message to you. All right, that's going to do it. My name is Harrison Graham here for the Lakers Report by Chat Sports. Subscribe, and we'll see you soon.